Hey guys, it's Tunari here, and I want to welcome back to another video for my channel Tunarific. This is kind of being a different kind of video in terms of this is not a movie review. This is more of a topic I want to talk to you guys about that has been concerning me. Which, by the way, this is a ongoing topic, so most of the information I'll be giving you from what I know is still to be updated or is under process of being updated. So yeah, so let's get started. So before I start, I actually just wanted to say thank you Starbucks for sponsoring the show today, this episode. Just kidding. I don't have any sponsors. Just kind of be trying to make this into a lighter tone because this is kind of a ranty episode, video episode, whatever. So yeah, probably you guys know, and you probably guys are following the World Cup. It's going on right now in Brazil. I am a huge supporter of Mexico since I'm originally from Mexico. So I've been supporting the team. So far, they have a win and a tie as I'm recording this. And yeah, it's been an interesting World Cup. Obviously, there's been some controversy here and there in regards to what are they doing behind the scenes, what led to this World Cup being hosted in Brazil, all the controversy of all the poor people in Brazil and such. But yeah, other than that, I like the tournament and everything. There's one thing I want to talk about, though, about this tournament that's really bugging me. Not only the controversy behind all these aspects, but there's one topic that really pissed me off because it's really unnecessary that they're bringing this up right now. As I said, this is a current issue. They're investigating Mexico by this. So you probably heard this, you probably didn't. FIFA is currently investigating Mexico, I guess the Mexican community, for saying the word Puto, which to be quite honest, may or may not be considered a derogatory or homophobic chant. I say this because FIFA has been investigating Mexico because Mexico tends to always shout out Puto at the beginning of every time the opposing goalkeeper kicks the ball. And my concern with this issue is the fact that they're deciding to bring this issue, this topic, into full light just now. And this has been going on for years, literally more than decades, a decade or so. It's been almost kind of a tradition that's been growing on in Mexico that, it goes on the local clubs in Mexico. It goes on in every single international games on Mexico. Mexican fans tend to shout the word Puto every time the opposing goalkeeper kicks the goal. And they really haven't done anything about it for the past 10 years or so. And now that Mexico all of a sudden seems to be not a threat, but competitive in this kind of in the football. They decided to go investigate them for homophobic things. Now I admit that the word may have that connotation, of being homophobic. But I can assure you, even though Mexico is still struggling with accepting the LGBT community, that this word is definitely not used for intentions of spreading hatred or any sort of derogatory meaning, at least in these matches. Outside of soccer or whatever, you can argue it otherwise, but I can assure you that this word is not being used to spread hate towards the LGBT community, to homosexuals, to anyone of the sorts. I myself support the LGBT community. I think, I have nothing against them. But accusing Mexican fans of being homophobic just because they use this slang term, which they've been using for the past 10 years, as I already mentioned, they decided just to drop the bomb and say, you know what? let's investigate Mexico because, you know, we could possibly take some points out. Or we could possibly get them in trouble because of this. And it's stupid because if they really had an issue with this, they would have done something about it 10 years ago. I mean, I honestly think it's kind of stupid. Saturday allegations started with the first match against Cameroon. Mexico's first match was against Cameroon, in which they were allegedly saying, yes, Mexico said the word puto. And then, in the second match with Brazil, they had a couple of days ago, they made those same allegations that Mexico used that word. The interesting thing is that Brazil started copying Mexican fans. The Brazilian fans started doing the same thing. They started saying puto every time the Mexican goalkeeper, Ochoa, would kick the ball away. So, interesting, they're focusing on Mexico, but they don't notice that, you know, Brazil was also starting to reciprocate many of the actions Mexico was doing in this match. And they're also accusing Croatia and other, I think it was Russia, for doing a lot of, I think there was some sort of neo-Nazi propaganda that were showing in the stands or in the crowd. I'm not really sure about that. Just kind of more focusing on what Mexico did. And I also want to bring up something with this issue is that FIFA says to have zero tolerance with this kind of issues, with you know, the spread of racism or hatred or discrimination or homophobia. And the interesting thing is the next World Cups. Sorry for that. The next World Cups, I think, is going to be in Russia and Qatar. Those countries are homophobic. They have laws against same-sex marriages. They're even worse. And you're making this an issue? Honestly, the corruption FIFA has, the stupidity, that their way to kind of like make decisions or stand in certain cases is totally stupid. Don't get me wrong, I love football, it's one of the best sports ever, but then you have this company who's being corrupt and saying, hey, you know what, let's focus on targeting this team who, you know, has been doing this for a while, and let's just sanction them just right now, because hey, guess what, it may benefit other teams. I mean, it's stupid. FIFA is being pressured into doing something about this. And I just think, you know, that they should, first of all, get their facts straight. Second of all, if you're going to sanction a team for a apparently homophobic slur or rant, you should get you should, you know, at least have some proof, some consistency in terms of going even back to when this originated, not just now. As this is being presented, it makes it seem, oh, Mexico is suddenly being homophobic. How about making a case for this back in when this originated, and not just now when the World Cup is currently in full speed ahead? What this will do eventually is it will distract Mexico, because then people will consider Mexico as a homophobic country. Now, I've mentioned before, and in this video, that yeah, sure, Mexico is still one of those countries in which the term machismo, male power or whatnot, homophobia is still a huge thing. It's bigger. It's even bigger in Mexico than there is in the United States. I do admit that. However, the term puto, in these cases, I think, is more to tease and to kind of tease and mock the goalkeeper. Not telling him he's gay or anything. It just I think that the terminology they use for when people say puto in the matches is when to mean that they're a kind of a chicken. I think this is the way Mexico tries to say it, is they're chickens because they decide to kick the ball half the distance, going to the other side of the field, because they're too scared that if they pass it to the defenders, Mexico's gonna steal the ball. So yeah, I mean, a lot of people are, a lot of news organizations are, saying, hey, Mexico's homophobic. I mean, if FIFA's investigating Mexico, I think it's stupid. I think, if they're gonna sanction Mexico, they should have done this a long time ago, and not now when they are currently in the World Cup. I mean, I just think it's stupid. If they're gonna sanction Mexico, sanction the other countries who follow pursuit, such as Brazil. But of course, they're not going to sanction Brazil because they're the host, and there's going to be a huge corruption and civil war if they do something to Brazil. Because you saw that already with the refereeing in some of the matches. They gave Brazil a penalty in one of the games, and then the Colombian referees for the Mexico team, they took goals out, which would have helped Mexico with the differential in goals. That being said, this is my view of this. I think this is a really stupid decision that FIFA is doing right now. If there was really an issue, they should have done it a long time ago and not just now. That being said, I think I'm gonna end this off here. I don't want to get to make this video too long of an issue. I will let you know what happens with this whole issue. I think it's stupid. FIFA. Honestly, go fuck yourself. You're doing a really bad job with this whole thing. You're a really corrupt country. You're claiming Mexico to be homophobic for this incident, and yet you don't realize you're hosting the World Cup in Qatar and in Russia, two well-known countries for being homophobic and having laws against, same-sex marriage and whatnot. So, yeah. Deal with those issues, not with just this little issue that's been around for like a decade or so. So, that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you agree with me or not, let me know in the comments below. We can discuss, whether Mexico should be sanctioned or is this a stupid thing as well. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Peace.